Well, it's been called the Soprano State, that after the fictional mob boss Tony Soprano. New Jersey, and there's a stunning new indictment that's shaking the Garden State's political world. George Norcross is charged with running a criminal enterprise, racketeering and extortion involving millions of dollars. Norcross is considered the state's top Democratic kingmaker, a power broker who controls the party's machine in South Jersey. Pundits say you can't win if you run for office without his backing. And his sweeping criminal case comes as the state's senior senator, Democrat Bob Menendez, is on federal trial for a second time. He's accused of basically selling his office and corruption. This morning, the Newark Star-Ledger newspaper editorial board says this, quote, "It's been a horrendous year for Democrats, and it's only halfway over. Senator Menendez is on trial, and now Norcross is indicted, and that's on top of a federal judge killing a key power of Democratic machines. Is 2025 starting to look like a Republican year?" Well, one Republican politician who hopes so joins us now. New Jersey State Senator Jon Bramnick, who is running for the Republican nomination for governor of the state. State Senator Bramnick, good to see you. Welcome.
Good to see you, Eric. Nice to be with you.
I guess the first question after this indictment of basically a legend, I mean, what's going on in your state?
Well, it is the Soprano State. So what takes the headlines all the time is the corruption, the charges against individuals, while the Democrats are about, prior to July 1, to raise billions of dollars in new taxes. So while we focus on these trials, they're going to be able to pass these new taxes, and people are not going to be able to live in New Jersey. We're the #1 exit state. It's not because of corruption. It's because of bad policy, because the Democrats have controlled the legislature for 20 years. With respect to these trials, this trial with George Norcross is going to be the trial of the century because George Norcross and the other defendants have hired the top trial lawyers in New Jersey. That's going to be one to stay tuned to listen to. And this is one of the first times private citizens have actually been charged. So as I said before, we have to be careful not to be distracted with respect to allegations of corruption when we have, in my judgment, terrible policies in Trenton.
More on Norcross in a second, but I want to pick up on that. I mean, we've seen this before in New Jersey. Jim Florio was the governor, raised taxes, what, by $1 billion, and he got booted out by Chrissy Todd Whitman?
That was a toilet paper tax, and he lost. And there is a movement now. I think people have had enough of the policies coming out of Trenton. They're looking for change, and they're looking for balance. Because when you have one-party rule, as we've had in Trenton, there's complete disregard for the other side of the aisle. And when you don't have compromise, what you have is basically the worst possible public policies. And that's why New Jersey's in such bad shape in terms of people leaving.
Well, you said toilet paper tax. They what? They really were going to tax the toilet paper?
Yes, Florio was taxing everything, and we're going to see the same thing with the Democratic legislature, because in essence, they're going to spend $2 billion of surplus to run basic operations. Everybody knows that's not how you run a railroad, and the railroad itself is getting stuck every day. People on these trains are sitting in 100-degree heat. They can't get out of New York. People are fed up.
You know, we've seen this before. I mean, Chris Christie, before he was the governor, of course, was the U.S. attorney, prosecuted 130 or so public officials, both Democrat and Republican. So Democrats don't have the monopoly on all this. But, you know, where does this come from? Where does this kind of culture come from? Christie, you know, launched his bid for governor based on the success he had on his prosecutions of political corruption.
Well, I think whether it's Democrats or Republicans, there are going to be a few politicians across this country who are going to take advantage of their position. And prosecutors are all over that because it does create headlines. And sometimes it's good public policy to indict politicians. But we also have to be careful, right? We want to make sure that when we do this fairly, we do it with restraint. We make sure we're doing it not for political purposes. And once again, never take your eye off the ball, which is making sure New Jersey is a place that people want to live. And let me tell you, being in Soprano State, probably not a great reputation.
Norcross, I want to add, denies any wrongdoing. He even showed up at the news conference. I mean, man, that's the first time I've ever heard of an accused showing up at the news conference. And he calls it a political prosecution. But the attorney general who's bringing the case is a Democrat. That's Matthew Platkin. Listen to what he had to say during his news conference announcing the indictments.
It's often said that in New Jersey, politics is a blood sport. And what's meant by that is that if you don't go along with the demands of those in political power, you'll get hurt. You might lose your job, you might lose your business. There is nothing inherent in our state's culture that requires us to accept politics and government that functions in this way.
So if elected, Mr. State Senator, and you become governor, I mean, what do you do? How do you clean this up? Is it possible to get rid of the stench?
Well, I'm going to appoint an attorney general who's going to be measured, going to be fair, going to be tough, but we also have a lot of street crime. We have people stealing cars in New Jersey 2 and 3 times. They never go to jail. So we also have to change how we classify these offenses because people aren't going to jail. I understand people want to talk about politicians. I want to talk about the people in their homes and whether they feel safe. And people don't feel safe. There's almost no deterrent effect now when people commit crimes. And we have to change some of the juvenile laws because there's juveniles who are serious offenders who are never going to jail. There's almost no deterrent effect. So we got new bills that are going to put some of these bad guys in jail. And we're going to need that if people are going to feel safe in their homes.
Those are the issues, crime, both in the suite and in the street, and, of course, the migrant situation, and for you, taxes. State Senator Jon Bramnick, who's running for governor of New Jersey, who's not a soprano, but we thank you for joining us. Good to see you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.